Andrew. This is Abby. I just wanted to go ahead and give you a little bit of a run through of the features that we have so far. Please do let me know if you have any questions or concerns at all, and I'll be more than happy to help you with that. I look forward to collaborating with you, and yeah, take care.
Hi, this is Scott, Technical Director here at Art of the Trek, and just wanted to give you a quick overview of where we are with our feature sets and what we're capable of doing. So we're going to attack this as if we were planning a real hike, and here we have our map, and I'm thinking of where I'd like to go, and I know I'm going to be in Colorado, and let's look up Rocky Mountain National Park in particular. I'd like to take a look at. So we're able to search for specific parks and forests that we have cataloged, and it'll show me that park and its boundaries. And as well, you can see here that we've made it so you can see the trails at a pretty zoomed out level, so you can get a general idea of where the more remote parts of a park are, and where you might want to get to quickly at a glance. So that is that there, and then you can see we have information cataloged about that park. The first things you'll see are if there are any permits and fees for the area that you're going to. We have those in detail, as well as passes that are available. And then the idea is that you can get a good overview of a park or forest that you've never been to before and know what to expect when you get there. So we catalog all of the natural characteristics and provide information on what you can anticipate there. In addition to the natural characteristics, we have rules and restrictions, and can you take your dog with you, for example, fly your drone, etc. So road closures during the winter, things like that. As well, a good thing to know about a place you've never been to before is what you can expect to encounter on the ground there with regards to pests and predators, and if there are any problematic plants as well, and then just brief information on fishing, if there are any huts or shelters available in the park, and some example images taken within the park. So that's sort of the park or forest level overview. And just as another example, you can see we have the Roosevelt National Forest just next door to Rocky Mountain National Park. And I click over there and I can see the boundaries of there, and I get completely new information down below for this national forest. But for the sake of this example, let's say that we want to take a trip to Rocky Mountain National Park. And so myself, I like to end up in some more remote areas, or at least if I'm taking a day hike, I'd like it to connect to a bigger network of trails. So I'm already looking down in this area over here, or maybe I want to head off up this way. But yeah, so just looking at trails, I'm thinking in those directions. And then also to inform my choices, my potential route planning, I know that I get a pretty bad headache if I sleep over 10,000 feet in altitude. So we have a quick altitude overlay layer here. And you see Rocky Mountain National Park has some pretty high elevation parts to it. So I'm looking at routes that perhaps cut through the higher elevations, but leave me sleeping maybe down in these areas overnight. So you can take a look at that at a glance. And given that it's winter time right now, we also may want to take into account crossing avalanche paths or not sleeping at the bottom of a very steep avalanche slope. So we also include that information as well. And we can take a look in Rocky Mountain National Park in particular. They have designated campsites, so we can see all of those at a glance. And we can click those and get more information about them and see about that. So that also informs our trip planning, that we want to go somewhere maybe remote down here. Maybe we want to take a look at this Fern Lake campsite, and then we know that permits are required and links to do that. So we have that there. So I'm thinking down, I'm looking at road access up here, and I'm thinking of a trail through there. We also have a whole bunch of scenic locations cataloged as well that you can take a look at, and that also may inform your route that you may want to go by some beautiful or popular places. No huts or shelters in the national park there, but if there were, those would show up. And then the other thing that we can do is take a look at any camera feeds nearby. So we can see we have some camera feeds right there. And we'll just let that one load and that one. And that allows us to get an idea of the weather conditions on the ground and what's happening up in the mountains. So if there's any ski resorts or public webcams available in a region, we can take a look at those and check their altitude and compare that to the route that we're thinking of. And the only other thing that we don't have showing in here is in the summertime, we also catalog or synchronize with the active wildfire list. So if there's a problem with fires in the area, we'll have that available. And then we have satellite view as well. And then the final thing we'd want to do in our trip, once we see where we want to go on the trails and get all the information about the park and plan a route based upon campsites and scenic locations, we'll want to create our routes. And you'll see we can do a nice job of snapping directly to the trails. So you can get an accurate distance count on that ahead of time. And then you're able to save that. It's just asking for you to create an account to save it. So that is the grand overview. Hope you like what you see, and we're seeking lots of input and feedback on what you like, what you don't like, and other features that would be helpful and meaningful to you in your trip planning.